watch this footage. This was Tim Russer on Meet the Press, September 4th, 2005.
Mr. Secretary, are you or anyone who reports to you contemplating resignation?
You know, Tim, what we're contemplating now is the fact that we are very, very much in the middle of the crisis. What I'm focused on now, and what I want my department, in fact, what the President has ordered all of us to be focused on now is what do we need to do in the next hours, in the next days, in the next weeks, and the next months to make sure that we are doing everything possible to give these people succor and to make their lives easier. We will have time to go back and do an after-action report, but the time right now is to look at what the enormous tasks ahead are.
Many Americans believe now is the time for accountability. The Republican governor of Massachusetts said we are an embarrassment to the world. The Republican senator from Louisiana, David Vitter, said that you deserve a grade of F, flunk. How would you grade yourself?
You know, Tim, again, the process of grading myself and grading everybody else is one that we will examine over time. We will, in due course, look at what we've done here and incorporate it into the planning. But first, we are going to make sure we are attending to the crisis at hand.
So no heads will roll?
Tim, in due course, if people want to go and chop heads off, there'll be an opportunity to do it.
People were stunned by a comment the President of the United States made on a Wednesday, Mr. Secretary. He said, quote, "I don't think anyone anticipated the breach of the levees." How could the President be so wrong, be so misinformed?
Well, I think if you look at what actually happened, I remember on Tuesday morning picking up newspapers and I saw headlines, New Orleans dodged the bullet. We had actually pre-staged a tremendous number of supplies, meals, shelter, water. We had pre-staged, even before the hurricane, dozens of Coast Guard helicopters, which were obviously nearby but not in the area. So the difficulty wasn't lack of supplies. The difficulty was that when the levee broke, it was very, very hard to get the supplies to the people.
Mr. Secretary, you say pre-staged. People were sent to the convention center. There was no water, no food, no beds, no authorities there. There was no planning.
But you know, Tim, at the end of the day, this is the ground truth. The only way to avoid a catastrophic problem in that soup bowl is to have people leave before the hurricane hits. Those who got out are fine. Those who stayed in faced one of the most horrible experiences in their life.
But that's the point. Those who got out were people with SUVs and automobiles and airfares who could get out. Those who could not get out were the poor, who rely on public buses to get out. Your website says that your department assumes primary responsibility for a national disaster. If you knew a Hurricane 3 storm was coming, why weren't buses, trains, planes, cruise ships, trucks provided on Friday, Saturday, Sunday to evacuate people before the storm?
Tim Russer, September 4th, 2005.